Already. What it is, y'all. Welcome again to MCXU Radio here on the BVSC Network. I'm your host, musicologist, aka Reed. I'm chilling in the mix, of course, man. I got my boy again, Broken, aka my man Brian. He's coming to kick it with me here in the Monday Man Cave as we always do. We got the Super Bowl special and the Grammy Woes, man. Gonna be a good show. Hope you guys are ready. We got points to make and things to say. All right, so you're officially kicking it in the Monday Man Cave, baby. Let's get this shit started. You feel? Let's go.
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. On they reach watch, no sir, not for show. No bars made up of fairy tales. I'm trying for a tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign, the pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
Yeah. We in it, man. We in it. Glad that you guys could join us here on this Monday before the Super Bowl. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that's been tuning in, liking the show, placing your comments, all of that good stuff. It's me in the mix, man, chilling. Like I said, my boy Brian, aka Broken Safety, is in the mix, kicking it with me, man. And I want you people to like, subscribe, and smash that bell. And I again want to thank you guys for tuning in. Got a lot to talk about today. It is the Super Bowl that is happening on this Sunday. I actually tried not to talk about this a little bit, but shit, it's what's going on, man. It's the Super Bowl. Now, I have my reasons because I don't care about these two teams, but uh, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. And it's kind of funny, Brian, because I actually reverted my last couple of shows. If y'all have been noticing, I put that I wasn't actually going to watch the Super Bowl. I think I've changed my mind because as a football fan, and I come on, man. And plus, I'm a content creator, so I have to watch. Like I have to watch. I don't have to watch, but I have to watch because if I don't watch, I can't give y'all a good show. You feel me? So, with that being said, let's get to the points. Y'all ready? Let's kick. I was in here laughing, man, because shout out to my boy Big Game James. He said, I knew that was a lie. I hate you, nah, man, all love, bro. You know I'm gonna have to watch it, man, because we can't have no show if we don't talk about it, Big Game. So, with that being said, man, let's talk about it. All right. So instead of about 3 points, I got about 5 points that I kind of want to talk, man. We just gonna get into it. Brian, you ready, man?
Yeah, definitely ready. I was feeling the same way about the Super Bowl, like not wanting to watch it because the teams that I wanted to go didn't go. So I was just like, I don't like either of these two teams, but I'll be tuning in. It's the Super Bowl, and it might be a good game. So it's I would be surprised if it's not a good game. So
Well, let's talk on this, brother. Let's talk on this. The Super Bowl is here. First and foremost, I feel you. I feel you because I know we talked about it on the last show. I don't really care for none of these teams. I'm not a big San Francisco 49er fan. I'm not a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. And the irony of this, let me tell you, the irony of this is, a few years back, these two teams did play in the Super Bowl. It was like Pat Mahomes, like first run to the Super Bowl. And I believe that I actually have video footage of me rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. If I did that, no, listen. But see, I did that back in the day because Kansas City hadn't went to the championship in I don't know how long. So it was kind of something fresh to see a brand new team make it and go into the Super Bowl and do what they need to do. Lo and
it's
behold,
it's
we
that
we didn't
underdog.
know. Yeah, it's that underdog factor. Lo and behold, we did not know that that was going to usher in this man constantly getting to the Super Bowl damn near every year, what it was feeling like. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask you, Brian, Who do you feel like is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Mm.
Silence.
I don't know. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to go against Mahomes because Mahomes, Kansas City. I mean, they just seem like Mahomes. He has a feeling of greatness. He has that feel. He has that feel. Like he has that aura around him that it's hard. He's one of them QBs that's hard to put away.
Mm-hmm.
The defense plays hard for him because they know they're always in the game, and I don't think he ever feels like he's out of a game. So even though the 49ers got down to a big deficit um, uh, in the NFC. And I feel like the 49ers could possibly get out to a lead, but Kansas City could come back. That's how I feel. So uh, if I was a betting man, I
If I
would
was a betting
probably
man, I wouldn't bet against Mahomes. I just wouldn't bet against Mahomes.
yeah.
I think your
That's
safest bet is to go with KC. And just like my boy Big Game said he wants the 49ers to win, but it's hard to pick against Patrick Mahomes. And damn it, I hate saying that, but it's the damn truth.
I hate saying that. I mean, he's starting to get that, that um that Brady, Joe Montana.
Mm-mm.
He start, and I'm not, we're comparing him to the goats, obviously of all time, and I'm not necessarily calling him a goat, but he's one of those guys that he's clutch, like he's generally usually clutch, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
uh, a late drive to win the game, all if he needs a field goal or a touchdown. He seems to be one of those guys that you can't stop and he gets what he needs. So if he needs 40 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards, if he needs three, or if he needs six, or if he needs seven, if he needs eight, he seems like he's one of those guys that he's going to get what he needs when he needs it. And it's hard to bet against a guy like that.
No doubt. Shout out to my man Chris. He just came on and said Mahomes might be the newer version of Brady. Look, I don't deny what both of you guys are saying. The crazy thing about it is Mahomes has done this in such a short amount of time. He's not even been in the league for 10 seasons. And we're possibly looking at this guy having his third NFL championship. Now you started talking about three NFL championships. This you're talking about Troy Aikman status. Okay. You're talking about you know, guys who, and it's hard as hell to get to the Super Bowl as it is. But the fact that you can pull out three in within what 5 years, 5 6 years, that's quite an amazing feat. I don't want to be a hater. I'm trying my best not to be a hater of Patrick Mahomes to just appreciate what he is and how he plays the game because I mean you don't see these kind of things every so often. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just want to sit back and just watch and enjoy the greatness. But I mean, it does kind of get on your nerves a little bit. But that's just me. I mean, everybody has their own opinions on it. I am a guy that just likes to see people that constantly win. Now, on the flip side, if this was me looking at Joe Burrow, who's already won. No, like real talk, real talk. If this was me on the flip side, Joe Burrow had won 2 championships. He's about to win the third, and this, that, and the third. Of course, you want them to just keep on winning and winning, because that's your squad. So if you put yourself in
Yes.
the shoes of KC fans, I understand what you guys are going. I understand how you guys feel. If you put yourself in the shoes of fans of Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that, like I completely understand how you guys feel, all of that good stuff. Um, but we're
Being
possibly looking at greatness, bro. We are possibly looking at greatness. Seriously.
Yeah, So the first thing is me personally. I said last week, and by now, if you watching the show, you probably know I'm a Chargers fan. So I don't. My number one thing as a fan, period, is I never root for anybody in my team's division.
Right,
First,
right,
first and foremost. Then I generally don't root for any teams, even in my team's conference.
right.
So I don't root for division for sure, and then conference. So KC being in the AFC West, I don't, they are direct rivals. You know what I'm saying? These are the guys we got to get past. So I can acknowledge the greatness and the fact that they win it, but I don't want to keep them win. I don't want to keep seeing them winning. It's like a Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying? As a Lakers fan, I understand what KC is going through, what KC fans are going through. Of course, they want to win again. When the Lakers, I was alive. I watched it with my own eyes. The Lakers won three in a row, three championships. They did the three-peat. I was devastated when they lost the fourth one,
Mm,
when they went to the
mm.
finals the fourth time. And
Yeah.
well, you already got three. You can lose one. No, no, we can't lose. We
Yeah.
can't lose one.
The winning got to keep winning, bro.
You
Yeah.
got to keep winning. I wanted them to win four in a row. So, like you said with Burrows, if it was Herbert and the Chargers had won two out of the last four, two out of the last five, and they going for three, or they won two in a row, I want them to win three. If they go to a fourth, I want them to win that one. If they go to a fifth, I want them to win that. New
Yeah, a lot of
England
people on
fan,
my team that go undefeated. Shit, I just want to,
New England
I
fans,
never want to lose.
never want to lose. New England fans can say the same thing. I mean,
Hey,
you don't get tired. I've never heard of a fan base getting tired of winning.
never, never. They get tired of losing. They get tired of losing.
You
They
get
never get
sick
tired
and
of
tired.
winning.
You get sick and tired of losing. You never the Yankees, them '90s, 2000 Yankees never got tired of winning.
Hated that squad. I've never liked the Yankees. I'm putting that out there. Don't never. You Yankees fans, ain't you Yankees? Y'all suck. I don't like you. That's one. That's one organization. I just. Hey, by the way, Texas Rangers won the World Series. So just let y'all know.
Yes, they did.
All in y'all hands. All right. Point number two, though. Point number two. I know we're talking about the Super Bowl and whatnot. What's going on in the Super Bowl is we see the two teams. We see it's Brock Purdy. We see it is Brock Purdy against Patrick Mahomes. It's a lot of narratives and stuff going on. Plenty of things that people can talk about, narratives and whatnot, for the sports and for the analysts and whatnot. One of the big staples that happens in the Super Bowl is the halftime show. A lot of people get credit about the halftime show. You get to hear about the artist that is performing, and we've had legendary people perform at these Super Bowl events. Okay, I'm talking about. I've been allowed to see Michael Jackson do it. I saw Prince do it. I've seen one of my favorite ones was the one I believe was that SoFi. I believe that was the Cincinnati Bengals one. Against the Rams where you had Dr. Dre and all of them come out 50
Dr.
and
Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50,
yeah,
50
yeah,
Cent, yeah.
yeah, no. So
Kendrick
this
Lamar,
year,
Kendrick
yeah,
Lamar.
yeah. So this year it has been told that Usher Raymond, yes, that's right, Usher. Usher will be in the halftime show this year, expecting to put on a performance. Um,
Beyonce had a great halftime performance too, by the way.
yes, she did, and believe it or not, Rihanna had a good one too. Rihanna had a decent one too. I'm not even gonna lie
Yeah,
about that. She had a nice one too.
yeah, Rihanna's
Um,
is decent.
yeah. So Usher is going to be the halftime show performance this year. Brian, and I'm not dissing Usher or anything. I still bump Usher's music. No, real shit. I still bump Usher's music. 8701, the My Way album. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Confessions is probably hands down his greatest album that he's ever done, in my opinion. Confessions is fucking amazing. Okay. Um, What are you actually expecting from this halftime show with Usher?
I don't know what to expect. Uh
So I
uh
don't know what
I
to
don't I okay, just to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of Usher, of course. I know his songs, of course. I know him when I hear him. You know what I'm saying? Very distinctive voice. I know it's Usher when he's on. I know the melodies and stuff, but I can't really name the songs, the names of the songs. I know "You Got It Bad" is probably that might be the name of the song. Is that the name of the
Yeah,
song?
yeah. That is the
Okay,
name of the
so
song.
maybe that. I'm interested to see who he brings out with him because usually a lot of these stars don't do an entire solo show unless Michael Jackson don't need any help.
Hell no.
I don't think Beyonce needs any help. She don't really need to bring out anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Dre wouldn't have been able to he would not have been able to do that show by himself. So he needed other people to come out. He's a producer. He's not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
he's a rapper too, but a lot of his songs feature features some of the biggest known artists of all time, biggest known hip hop artists of all time. So, who is he? Who do you expect to see if he brings out anybody? Is somebody coming out with him?
well, see, that's the beauty of it because we never know. We never know what's gonna happen. I will say, if he has to bring out somebody, I mean, you start to think about the features and the songs that he's done with people. I'm hoping it's nothing one of these new ballads that he's done with any of these females because some of that shit is whack to me personally. But I I wouldn't be surprised to see Little John come out and they do
Okay,
yeah, you know.
okay,
Um
okay.
uh
And
I,
Luda was on that song, right?
yeah, Luda was on that. Yeah. So,
Okay, so maybe yeah,
I
so
wouldn't
maybe
be
he bring
surprised to see if
because I
Luda drop out in that. Yeah, yeah,
with the Atlanta connection, that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about which Atlanta artists would come out with him. So I guess Luda, sorry Thugger, yeah, you can't be out there because kind of locked up right now, my nigga.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you ain't going no. Hopefully you can watch it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I would be remiss to see if, well, I doubt it, and I highly doubt it, but if Diddy came on the
No,
on the
no,
stage with him
no, no,
and
no,
they did I Need a Girl.
no, 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 no. That is not gonna happen. That's the NFL is not they not stamping no. It's no way. No way Diddy is involved with this at all. Period.
No way.
No, absolutely no, absolutely zero chance that Diddy is coming out.
No
So
doubt, no doubt.
what are some of the other females, women, R&B or rappers he got songs with? Do we who does he have? Who does he have music with?
Doesn't he have a song with like Summer Walker or something like that?
Come on, man. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's what
sorry,
I'm
but I
saying. I
don't.
mean, but they play it on the radio, but I mean, I
I
don't
don't.
too much pay attention.
I
I don't
wish
too
I
much
knew.
pay attention.
I wish I knew a lot about Usher. I'm sure he has plenty of collaborations. I just don't know. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I don't know about
No,
them. So
no doubt, man. Another guy that just came into the mix, man. A surprise, not a surprise guest, but also one of my best friends as well. My man Chris, aka Grip, he's in the mix. Come on and enjoy this show, which is the Money Man Cave. What's up, man?
yo, what's up?
What's up, guys?
What's
Good to
happening with
see
you?
you, bro. Good to see you, man.
You
Glad you're
too,
here.
man.
Glad
Good
you're
to
here.
see everybody, man. Bro, can you get the
Man,
camera up, man, so we can see him too? Got a
yeah,
box,
I'm waiting on him to get that camera going.
but
Man, but look, we was talking about this halftime show that Usher is going to be a part of. Is there
yeah.
anything in particular that you probably may be expecting? Somebody that he may bring out? You kind of
Uh,
mentioned maybe Little John, maybe Ludacris or something like that, but hmm,
yeah, maybe, but you know how he's gonna do like melodies of songs and stuff, so it
yeah,
might not be enough time to bring out. a bunch of people, but the Ludacris and the Little John, that makes sense. He brings out Pharrell or somebody, that makes a little sense too.
Okay, see, I didn't even think of Pharrell. That does make sense.
Yeah, but like somebody like out of nowhere, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't say I can't go on record to say that I'm anticipating and highly anticipating to see Usher do a halftime show. I
Wait,
mean,
that he got just a question. He got songs with Chris Brown, right?
Yeah, I think they had
hey,
like one song. I think.
I can't remember if he did, to be honest.
That
I
doesn't
mean, I
really
just don't. Just me personally,
matter.
just to be totally honest, I was when you said it was Usher, I was just a little bit surprised. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like he can hold a halftime show on his own. But
No, I forgot who they were saying was supposed to be the halftime show guy, but then I started to think about it because the Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. And at
Mhm.
this point in time, when they was kind of making that announcement, Usher was having a residency in Vegas over there at the MGM Grand or whatever. So he was doing shows every single night, you know what I'm saying, getting paid doing whatever he did. So when I kind of pieced that together, I said, well, shit, it would only make sense that Usher, he's already in Vegas. Super Bowl's in Vegas. Might as well just, and it's not like he's not an international name. Go ahead and throw him in the mix.
well, I mean, he has a ton of good music and he has a ton of fun music and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that he's not necessarily worthy for it. I mean, I think it'll go well.
Yeah, it'll go well. I think it'll go well.
I
I
think
think
it'll
I
bad.
think it was a safe pick to pick Usher. You
That
know,
part. That
they
part.
say that the story goes that Jay called him like really early in the morning and it was just like it's time to go. It's time to go to work. So I don't know how long he's had this gig, but it feels like it's a safe pick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Now, fellas, the funny part, and I know Chris, you just came in. Me and Brian was talking about, these are two teams that we don't necessarily care for, but we're gonna, we just really don't, man. Just really don't. So this is, and it's funny because before getting on the show today, man, I actually had a talk with a couple of buddies at work. And all they kept saying was, y'all, this shit is scripted. Y'all, this is scripted, scripted, scripted. These teams here scripted, boom, boom. I mean, out of every other word was just saying script, 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 script. My question to you guys, and it's not that is the NFL, it's the NBA scripted. My question is, if it is scripted, if this stuff really has been scripted, if there's really a script in the mix, when did you start believing in the script in sports? What was it? What actually happened that made you sit back and be like, you know what? This might actually just be a business. This might be some bullshit. Because I'm gonna give y'all my examples. I've got two examples. In the NBA, it was
Already, all
2006.
right.
In the
Oh, okay.
NBA, it was 2006 when the Mavericks played the Miami Heat the first time in the NBA Finals. And Mavs were up 2-0, and then all of a sudden, there is no touching Dwayne Wade whatsoever. Okay, Wade
Mm.
is shooting more free throws than the whole Maverick squad. It just that right there kind of opened my eyes to just kind of scratch my head and be like, okay, could it be some finagling behind the waves? NFL wise, when the Panthers played the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl,
Mm.
and it was that fumble, and Cam Newton could have picked it up, but he
He
kind of
stood
sat
back.
back. He
He
stood
stood
back,
back. Yeah.
and you can clearly see that. I'm just saying, if it was scripted, guys, if you did believe that it was scripted, when was it that would have made you believe that all of this shit was scripted in some way, some shape, or form?
I don't believe none of it's scripted. I don't believe none of that shit.
Well, I'll go then.
Go ahead, bro.
When you went NBA, I was surprised you didn't. I thought the first thing everybody brings most everybody brings
I
up,
knew
and
you were gonna say Lakers and Kings.
I was kind of shocked you didn't go back that far. When you said 2006, I was like, okay, like I thought you was going to go earlier than that. And yes, Lakers and Kings, like so. The Lakers uh, uh, shot way more free throws than them in that whole series. So a lot of people point to that series as as when they thought they figured that it was scripted or whatever because of the Lakers shot so many more free throws than that. And the free throws is kind of what put them over the top to a certain extent, even though that series went 7 games. Um, NFL, uh, NFL, I would have to go with the Tuck game,
Oh, the Patriots.
with the Patriots and the Raiders. In the snow game
Oh, yeah.
where where Brady fumbled and
Yeah.
they said it was not a fumble, but the tuck rule, and a lot of people believe that the tuck rule saved Brady, but there was no tuck rule in the league at that. They put that rule in the next season. The very next season is when they came with the tuck rule. They did not have a tuck rule in the league at that time. So they tried to say Brady was throwing that ball when he was not throwing that ball. He fumbled that ball. The tuck rule wasn't even in effect. So to me, that was a fumble. And the reason why I believe the Raiders got dicked, and see, it might not have been a script thing for me at the time. I thought it was just the league dicking the Raiders thing, because the Raiders had always been known to be the most penalized team in the league for years and years and years and years and years. They always the most penalized up until that point. Now, I don't know about the last few years. I would have to look at stats and stuff like that. But as long as Al Davis was alive, the NFL hated Al Davis. Al Davis was the first man to sue the NFL and win. Al Davis owned like half of the AFC. He owned the Denver Broncos. He owned the who else did he own? I want to say he owned the Kansas City Chiefs, but it might not have been the Chiefs. But I know he owned the Raiders, the Denver Broncos, and he owned another team. And he sold those teams when the AFL merged with the NFL. He sold his other teams and he chose to keep the Raiders. You see what I'm saying? So he owned more than one team in the AFL. So he kept the Raiders, and he sued the league to move the team to LA, and he sued the league to move back to Oakland or whatever. And he was trying to sue the league again. He's pretty much credited with keeping the team out of LA all those years because he kept lawsuits going through the courts all the time, trying to lay claim, saying that LA was the Raiders' market, even though the team was physically located in Oakland. He always claimed the LA market. So I just thought, me personally, I didn't think that was necessarily a script. I think it was just the league hating on the Raiders because they didn't want the Raiders to go to the Super Bowl.
And that was the Raiders' year. That was the Raiders' year. That was the Raiders' year to win that year. Yeah,
and it's funny, that was
that year.
That was Brady's first championship, and it jump started a dynasty, though. That's what's so cold about it. So when you look back at it, you can say, nah. In hindsight, you'll be like, nah, man, that was Brady, nah, that's not, Brady won 6 more after that. So how are you gonna say that was a fluke or it was a cheat or it was you know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna believe it. I'm still gonna believe they cheated the Raiders out of that Super Bowl.
I totally agree. It was Raiders to win. Chris said he don't believe it. Chris, you don't believe in the scripts.
I don't believe none of that shit. I don't believe anything like that. What we talking about are like anomaly games, like these once in a blue moon type games. Because if it was scripted for real, then it would be some jackass would took a picture of the script just on some liking shit, like just to post it for no reason and shit like that.
Well, there cannot be
secret these days. Like niggas can't keep nothing in secret now. Like people will post a secret for clout. Like
Yeah, so when it comes to the overall, is there a script? No, I don't believe that either overall because like Grip saying, like it's not they can't keep that a secret, and you can't have a league wide script where everybody is colluding, everybody knows what's going on,
Why
but I
not?
go ahead.
Why not? Why couldn't the
Because
commissioner? Why couldn't the commissioner just be like, all right, this year you're gonna win. This year this guy's gonna win.
the
This
thing
year
is,
y'all are gonna do a surprise
current
thing and y'all are gonna
legacy
win this
is it's
because it's
tough to
all
get
money at the end of the
documentary
day.
for it, and we all gonna know like it's too much at stake. It's too much money for it to just be like it'd be like the WWF at that point. Like it's scripted entertainment.
Well,
Okay.
it's
And
because the
Okay.
government. I
Okay.
don't think they have enough money to pay off the government for the government to keep it secret. Because see, the thing about Major League Baseball, NBA, the NFL, they have non-compete contracts and they have antitrust protections. So they could literally be sued by the U.S. government if the government ever found out that there was they can have
games
their
and
yeah, they can have their antitrust protection stripped away from them because like
Mm,
the leagues themselves, I believe, are nonprofit
right.
nonprofit entities.
Right.
Only the teams are for profit, but the league is a nonprofit. They have Major League Baseball, NFL, they have antitrust protections, so they can't be sued in antitrust courts and stuff like that. So I don't think, yeah, I don't, I think the government.
there's no actual script, but do fluke shit happen in games of any sport? Yeah. And that's a lot of
Yeah.
times people think that's what the script comes from. It's like these fluky games and shit like that. Like if it was really a script, the Lakers would win a majority of their fucking games, but we know that's not true because they fucking lose a lot. So
Well, I
I mean,
think
no,
what's
no,
happening.
y'all make a point. Y'all make a point because even if it was, and I know I've said, there's, I've gone off on a rant saying that there's scripts and stuff like that. But then again, I sit back and think if it was really a script, the Cowboys would have been and won another championship, probably another 2, 3 championships by now at this point, and they're
Well, I
going
mean,
on what 20 some
I think
years.
I think the Knicks would have got a first round, the number one pick. The New York Knicks should have had a number one pick before they. I don't think they've had a number one pick since like the '70s or the '60s or something like that. Like
Mm.
the league office is in New York,
well, let me ask.
and
Let me. I'm
why
gonna touch
why
on
wouldn't the Knicks why wouldn't the Knicks be a good team?
yeah, that's shit. Wait, didn't Patrick Ewing go number one?
Yeah,
Or was that the last one though? Was it he was the last one?
yeah, you don't win number
Maybe
one.
I don't know if you didn't win number one, but if
I
he
was
did,
saying he
yeah.
went number one to the next. Yeah, from Georgetown. Yeah.
So maybe that was so that was what in the '80s.
But that was their last number one pick.
I believe, yeah, the Knicks haven't had a number one pick in forever. Who
So
name the Knicks
I'm
number
trying to
one
think
pick?
now.
Yeah,
I'd have to look.
The Knicks haven't won the lot. They haven't actually won the NBA lottery in fucking decades. So that's one thing to me. It's like how come the Knicks haven't, why aren't the Knicks better if there are so-called scripts, it would seem like the league would ensure that the Knicks is a great team.
Mhm.
I think what's most likely happening is point shaving. So I think point shaving happens. I think individual referees, individual coaches, or players do things to affect the game because they either have mob debts or bookie debts or they have bets themselves involved in the game. So they're doing things to either throw games or
What was that ref? The
uh,
ref came
uh,
out with that. With
Donahue,
that. Yeah.
Jim Donahue.
Done it. Yeah. He
So
came
I
out and
think
said it.
I think that's a more likely thing happening. So I can miss one tackle. I cannot
Mm.
fall on one ball. I'm not saying Cam Newton did that. I'm just giving examples. Like I can miss one
Fuck that. He
tackle.
did that
I
shit.
can I can miss a shot. I can step out of bounds when I'm not supposed to. I can have a bad night. I can just forget how to shoot all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? One night. You know what I'm saying?
And
Or
that's what makes it weird. That's what makes it weird. That's when all of a sudden you can't shoot. You've been busting ass the whole week, and then all of a sudden you just can't shoot.
I mean, that should happen like that.
It happens. It does. That stuff like that
You
happens
can
in real
have
life.
bad games.
You
I'm
know.
not saying you can't have a bad game, but all of a sudden you shooting 3-pointers and they going out into the damn crowd and shit. Like you can't even hit the backboard. Shit like
Or
Clay
you know.
Thompson. Clay Thompson.
you've been throwing darts.
Yeah,
You've been throwing darts all game. But in crunch time, and when the drive that you really needed, you throw into triple coverage. Like
you throw a duck.
you just happen to throw a duck or throw into triple coverage. I mean, people choke. Players choke though. Choking is a real thing. Like some players, they tense up in crunch time and stuff like mistakes happen. People
But it's not
fumble.
even
People,
like they tense up in crunch time because it's fucked up because all players tense up in crunch time. It's just what crunch time are you going to tense up at? Because you can have like 3 or 4 crunch time games and don't tense up at all, and then fuck up the next 3 of them and shit like that. And every player is like that. They're up and down like that. Like I've been watching Ron a lot the last 2 years for how great this nigga is. This nigga be disappearing a lot. Like he really picks and chooses like when he want to like fucking perform and shit like that. It's really crazy to watch. Like to watch this shit with this nigga. Like crazy.
right.
Games.
And I mean, and there's an explanation. The explanation for that is that he's old and that he's been in the league for 20 years. 20,
you see him do what he do, and you're just like, well, what the fuck?
But even then, I'm not gonna put that as an excuse because he's old, but shit, he's still out there. And if he can pick and choose when to play, then he can pick and choose when to play. If that's the case, it doesn't matter if he's old. He should be able to do it, every step of the way. But I understand what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying. If the man is saying that he can pick and choose, but you're saying that he's old,
yes.
I mean,
if you're literally old, that means you can't do it every night.
That means you need to sit your ass down.
It's because it's a combination of both. Like he can't do it every night, so he has to pick and choose when to actually do it and shit. I'm gonna guard Jalen Brunson because he might cook us in the fourth quarter or some shit. All right, I'll take the assignment and then I'll expend all my energy in the next 2 games. It'd be something different. Like
right. I mean, cause see, that's the thing, right? Like some nights you feel better than other nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some nights, and that's when players get in the zone. So, and a lot of players, when you look at old interviews of Jordan, Kobe, a lot, even just regular players that have scored 40, 45, like, and remember Gilbert Arenas, like, remember this game you played when you dropped 50 on so-and-so? Like, he was like, dude, as soon as I hit the court, man, before the game started, I just felt good. Like, I knew it was my night. Like, I walked in, everything was perfect. I drive the same way to the stadium every time. I drive the same way. I hit all the lights perfect. I walk in the stadium, took a nice shower, whatever, got on the court. Everything was wet. Like, I knew I was going to drop 50 that night because I felt so goddamn good. Like, they'll tell you that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you.
Be just so once in a while, like you think a nigga just great, and you'll just be like, damn, he was like fucking T-Mac or Grant Hill mostly, like, because it was something that you seen in him, and then you just saw you just get taken away and stuff like that. It was just like, damn, he could have had it too. He could have been like super nice too.
Derrick Rose, there's a lot.
Oh my God,
Brandon Roy, there's a lot of
Brandon
guys.
Roy, God,
a lot of guys, bro. Injuries is a motherfucker, man. Injuries is a motherfucker, man.
The rookie Derrick Rose was one of the greatest, man. Oh, he was
disgusting.
He was so good.
Disgusting.
Man, he won an MVP as a rookie, man. MVP.
That boy was cold.
I don't think it was his rookie year, but
I believe that was his rookie year, brother.
MVP is his rookie. In the rookie, I don't think it was his rookie year.
Y'all are tuned in, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching, man. MCSP Radio here on the BGSC Network. Guys, I want to segue into the next thing. I don't watch the Grammys often. In fact, I don't watch the Grammys at all. I'll just be honest. Every year that I'm on, I don't pay attention, but I do tend to look back and see who's won and all of that good stuff. And the story out there, man, that I really want to kind of get you guys' get you guys an instance on, man. First and foremost, let me give a big, huge shout out to this guy, man, Killer Mike. If you guys don't know who Killer Mike is, and I'm sure you guys do, but the people that are out there watching, Killer Mike is uh, quite a dominant figure in the hip hop community, man. And it was just good to see this guy finally win him some Grammys. He got 3 Grammys: Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Album. All of that good stuff, man. He's having a good time. Wins the Grammys, taking it back home. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys paid attention. I don't know if you guys saw it. He's in handcuffs.
Mhm.
LAPD is taking him out in handcuffs. And I actually looked it up, and they're actually taking it. It was for a misdemeanor battery. Misdemeanor battery that they decided to escort him out of the Grammys after he had just won. They escorted him outside of the Grammys. Took him. There's footage all over the internet with him, in the handcuffs being escorted by the police officer. Um, Fucked up. That's a very fucked up thing, especially over a misdemeanor battery. Now, I don't know the full disclosure and all the details. I know he was actually released on bail, which was $0. So they just booked him in and then they let him go, apparently. Um, why would you think that they would do that, guys?
Racism.
Hmm.
You just gonna chalk just racism, just straight to
I just talk,
racism?
I just talk about the racism because I'm not saying he's not guilty of whatever crime they're saying he committed, but to just to formally arrest him right then and there on the spot, unless what he's accused of happened. This was in L.A., right? The
Yeah.
Grammys.
Yeah.
Unless it was done in L.A. and he ain't been back to L.A. since, and then they say, "Yo, when you step out here, we getting your ass." Maybe it was something like that. I don't know, but
From what I heard, the incident happened that night after he left the stage. After he left the stage, from what I'm hearing, the incident happened after he left the stage. He got into an altercation with a security guard that was blocking his path or something like that.
really,
He
it
wouldn't.
wasn't
That's what
something
they
like
say.
something like he did in the past. None of that shit.
So
That's what
no,
they
so
say.
the security guard wouldn't get out of his way or was blocking his path or something. So I want to see the security guard now. Okay, I don't want to chop it up to racism. I would be more open to that idea if it was a white security guard, I guess, or a non-black security guard. But if it was a black security guard and he punched the guy, I usually in those situations, a lot of times the Grammys, an official from the Grammys, somebody there can talk the security guard out of pressing charges. So
Mhm.
this security guard, I guess, either pressed the charges himself. The security guard could have possibly been off duty LAPD or off duty sheriff. He could have been an off duty cop. He could have refused to not press charges and drop charges. It could have been a similar situation with what happened with the Toronto GM in the
Oh
finals.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
If
mm,
y'all remember that, if
yeah.
y'all remember that, he got into
Yeah,
it.
I can't pronounce his name right now, but I remember. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He got into it with that security. It was a police officer working security, and that was in California. That was at the Warrior Stadium. It was at the Warrior Stadium. They had just won, so they had and Killer Mike just won. He just went. It's like him winning a championship. He won 3 Grammys, right?
Mhm.
So the Raptors had just won the championship. The GM is trying to go down to the floor, and the security guard stopped him. So Killer Mike just won 3 Grammys. He's trying to go somewhere backstage, maybe, and the security guard is like, "You're not supposed to be here," or don't know who he is, or is blocking his way from getting to wherever the fuck he was trying to get to. And uh, We don't know what Killer Mike did. Maybe he slapped him. Maybe he pushed him. We don't know what. Maybe the other guy could have pushed him first. You know what I'm saying? And then so it could be a lot of details with it. I would like to see who the security guard is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily gonna chop it up to racism, though. Honestly,
We all have our opinions, okay? We all have our opinions, and I like the fact that Chris just came out and he was just like, "Hey, this first thing that he said was just racist."
Racism. Absolutely not knowing anything about the fucking shit. I just chalk it up to racism.
but
To
I mean,
me,
that's
to
not
me,
that's not that's not that's not I mean, it's not totally unfair because I mean, when you look at guys like
no,
Dana White,
to me, that's
he's
a
able to
valid
slap
point.
he's able to
Everything is a
slap
valid
people
point.
right on camera and never get arrested.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everything that you guys are saying are valid points, but I'm gonna give you this instance. To me, I've seen Killer Mike do a lot of things for black communities. I've seen him do, a lot of positive talk and whatnot. Seems already, always be, supportive of, the up and coming neighborhoods and stuff like that. Just wanting to get, good things done. And he's created a voice for himself. He's created a strong voice to where he can, at this point, if he talks, there's people out there that's gonna listen. He drops an album, there's people out there that's going to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Um, he's made that much of an influence at this point. And to me, I think this was a way of the powers that be to tell him, hey, you can win accolades, but motherfucker, we still run shit. You can win
Ah,
accolades.
see,
You
I'm
can win
still,
accolades. But
Um,
you need to still understand who runs this at the end of the day.
but you
I
It's
mean,
the
go
Grammys.
go ahead, somebody go ahead.
just now knowing what what the actual story is, it feels a little bit like that. It feels performative to put him in handcuffs after the at the awards at the arena and all that shit. Like,
Think
I
about
mean,
it.
but if it's something that is in
How
there on
else
the
to
spot, then I
embarrass
get why
somebody?
people called and that's it. Like, I don't. If it is embarrassing, but at the same time, though, if this shit happened right there on the spot, like backstage or whatever, like that, then I get why he's going to jail right there on the spot. You know, regardless of what award shows going on and all that stuff. If he actually did exactly what Broken has said, regardless of the race or the creed or the ethnicity of the security guard, if he like assaulted someone, then I get why the police are there right there on the spot to take him in handcuffs and shit like that. It still feels
Okay,
performative, but because he could turn himself in anytime or whatever, they put a warrant out or whatever like that. But cops was there on the spot. Okay, cool. You going in handcuffs? We'll take you to the fucking police station. We'll book your ass, and then we'll let you go immediately. That feels like we
o-
just wanted to embarrass you. So
okay,
But see, I just don't see what's embarrassing about it when rappers get arrested all the time, and this is like the mildest thing a rapper can ever get embarrassed for. The only thing that it did
it's that
to
award show thing behind it.
the only thing that it did to him was inconvenience him. He's literally inconvenienced for a few hours. They took him in, took a mug shot or took a photo. It might not even have took a mug
I
shot.
didn't do that.
They, he went in, he got fingerprinted, boom. They gave him a bench warrant or something like that, a ticket. He
Yeah,
already has a court
yeah, yeah.
he already has a court date to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't he got inconvenienced. He didn't to me it wasn't necessarily embarrassing. I mean,
that wouldn't be
it's
embarrassing to you if that happened to you.
Like
You just
at
won.
that time,
You just won. You just won
no,
Grammys.
no,
You
no,
know
I
what I'm
would
saying? Or
no,
you just won
no.
awards.
No,
Based off the things you've been doing.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I would be pissed. I would be
Yeah,
more
I mean,
upset. I would be more upset than embarrassed. It's not embarrassed. Rappers have been arrested for way worse. Like it's not embarrassed. I wouldn't be embarrassed. I would just be mad. Like you inconvenienced me. That's you already inconvenienced me by probably not knowing who I was and blocking my path or something, telling me I can't go somewhere where I'm allowed to go to. Like that may be a little bit embarrassing or whatever, or just enraging. It's black. I don't think black people get embarrassed at shit like that. We get angry. We're upset that shit like that is still happening to us. Like It's not embarrassing. It's enraging. It makes me mad. It
To
doesn't.
me, it's an embarrassing connotation when, and I know what you're saying, Brooker, but it's an embarrassing connotation when you have something, a program that's going on to that magnitude. And I've
Prestige.
just won these awards. It's so prestigious. Everybody and their mama's watching it. And they said, I've got my wife here, I've got my kids here, I've got my family. All of this, they're here to watch me accept this award and walk on the stage and, take these pictures with these 3 Grammys. Then all of a sudden I'm getting arrested for something very minor. And you know what I'm saying? And now my kids have to watch me getting walked out,
I
and
mean,
then my wife has to watch it.
you
You see
big
what I'm saying?
gangster, you big gangster like that. You're not embarrassed to get arrested. Like it's not. I
Not
don't know,
necessarily
man.
like
And I
that.
don't. And I don't see why it would be coming down from the powers that be, so to speak. Like the head of the Grammys, like want Killer Mike to get arrested. No, like these are all liberals. Like these are all liberal people. It came from the LAPD. The LAPD did that shit. So it was. I'm almost sure. I would bet 90%, 95% sure the security guard or the people around him were off duty LAPD or LAPD officers saw the interaction take place and they chose themselves to make the arrest. And the security guard they probably asked him not to file, like, why are you doing this? Don't file charges. And the LAP, well, do you want us to take him in? And he's like, yes, take him in. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a LAPD officer don't have to sit there and worry about the Grammys or worry about not getting another job. Like that LAPD officer, if he's off duty or whatever, he can say, okay, fuck it. I don't have to work the Grammys next year or whatever, but I'm going to go back on patrol tomorrow. If it's a regular security guard, he might not be going back to work tomorrow if he got Killer Mike arrested. They be like, yeah, you got assaulted, but you got Killer Mike arrested, you're fired. He could still literally get fired. But if it's an LAPD officer, he don't give a fuck. He's like, arrest him and take him in. You see what I'm saying? That's my whole. I don't think it came down. Why would the Grammys need to humble Killer Mike? It's the LA. It's the cops. It's the fucking pigs doing that shit. It's the cops doing that shit.
The fuzz. Okay.
It's
Okay.
fuzz.
But okay. And before we even go on to the last thing, my thing is, well, my question is, if they'll arrest Killer Mike, I guess for quote unquote assault, why not arrest Will Smith?
Oh, because Chris Rock didn't press no charges,
Still
and they
assault.
said it was a woman.
I mean,
he knocked over. The security guard was a woman.
mm,
Oh, you just looked it up right now?
Just read just a little bit of it. And I think it was
A
in Rolling
woman?
Stone.
Supposedly
Yeah,
a
it was a
woman?
woman.
Okay.
Yeah, supposedly a
Okay.
woman. I don't know if that makes a
Okay.
difference or not, but if it happened on the spot, and that security guard's not black. I'll just say that. They don't say what race
oh hell
the
no.
was, but it's not black. They're not
No.
black. So they probably just press charges. They know who the fuck Killer Mike was, press charges, get this nigga out of here. That's it and that's all.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Chris Rock didn't press. Yeah, he didn't press charges.
Chris Rock didn't press no charges. So that's how it feels like. I might have overstepped with the racist shit or the racism stuff, but if it's just straight up, get the fuck out of my way and knock your stupid ass over, and you just felt like calling the cops on the big black man.
And the producer of the Oscars begged the rest of the Oscar people not to send Will Smith home. So it was a black man. It was a black man directing the Oscars. So that's another point. So even though Chris Rock chose not to press charges, the director of the Oscars was a black man, and he chose to argue on the behalf of keeping Will Smith. And that's why Will Smith was able to stay and accept his award later on that night. It's because the director of the Oscars fought for him to be able to stay.
And I think that same dude is putting on all these award shows. I forget his name. They talked about him a lot on Joe Budden podcast, but that same black dude is putting on all of these award shows as well. So that's dope of him. But I
So,
think this is
and
like this.
we may get a story. We may get a story where he came down and tried to talk them out of arresting Killer Mike. We may get this story. This story may come out where he, hey, well, I tried. This time I couldn't do it. This time I couldn't. I
I wish I
couldn't
knew
stop
his
him from doing
name.
it.
Like I don't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah, it's that one black dude who putting all these award shows, Grammys, the fucking AMAs, all that shit. Even he doing it. That dude who y'all niggas know who he is.
Yes, I know. His name is
That
on the
guy.
tip. His name
That
is on
guy.
the tip of my tongue too.
Yeah.
His name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy. Man, my last point, man. I appreciate you guys for joining, man. Everybody that's been tuning in this whole time. The last point what to make Jay-Z, man. Jay-Z. He won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, come on, we know what Jay is. We know what Jay has done for the culture and everything like that. But I want to pull up this TikTok. I want to pull this video. You guys tell me, man. You guys tell me what you think about what he said for this Grammy acceptance speech. And I think he was talking about Beyonce, if I'm not mistaken. But check this out.
I'm just saying, we want y'all to get it right. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. We want y'all to get it right. At least get it close to right. And obviously it's subjective. Y'all don't got to clap at everything. Obviously it's subjective because it's music and it's opinion based. But some things, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Just in life, you got to keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Forget the Grammys. You got to keep showing up until they give you all those accolades you feel you deserve. Until they call you chairman. Until they call you a genius. Until they call you the greatest of all time. You feel me? I'm just
Jay-Z, man.
I think
You guys think, man?
I think that because the entire speech and that little portion right there, he used Beyonce as a example to highlight what he believes is the Grammy people getting everything wrong with nominations, picking the winners and stuff like that. I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
It's still super fucking weird to see him look like that because you just grew up with the guy. He just looks crazy. He looked crazy as fuck to me. But I'm happy he with his daughter and shit, Beyonce in the background. But it was a great speech. You got a lot of pushback though. A lot of pushback.
It did.
Okay.
And to me, I think he spoke a lot of truth.
Real quick, can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award? What is that?
I have no idea. This is like the second year that they've had this award. And I think it's just another made-up award that they had to give.
It's a legacy award, like
legacy award, pretty
legacy
much.
Award.
Another legacy type of award. I think this is like the second year that they've had.
Well,
the first time?
How much global impact has Dr. Dre had?
I mean, pretty big, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Dr. Dre.
Global?
Yeah.
Global.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, bro. Come on, dog. Yes.
I might not know the words to explosive, but the motherfucker know what it is.
People know this shit, bro.
You can't call it the Snoop Dogg Global Impact Award because it don't sound right. And everybody knows Snoop Dogg. He's probably the most famous rapper of all time.
Real talk. Real talk.
Dr. Dre Global Impact. Okay.
I mean, I don't fucking know. It's one black man handing another black man a fucking award that don't really mean nothing, really, in the grand scheme of things. We'll just say, oh, Jay-Z got a Global Impact Award amongst all his other accolades. They gave him a black Grammy, all black Grammy. And he did. Yeah.
All black Grammy. Yeah. I think though, Jay-Z coming up with that speech, I think that does highlight to what I think what a lot of people have probably been saying for years. It's just it seemed that a lot of things have been unfair, I guess. And whoever are these people are that makes these decisions of who wins certain Grammys and stuff like that. I mean, Beyonce has lost to Taylor Swift. She's lost to Harry Styles. She's lost to Adele. You
But she
know,
got more Grammys than all of them, though.
she's
Okay,
got
I
more
mean,
Grammys than all of them
It's
people.
well, no,
crazy.
I think Taylor Swift got the lead back now. I think
Oh, she probably was. How much she get yesterday?
2 or 3.
Oh, maybe.
But okay, but I mean the elephant. We haven't addressed the elephant in the room yet, right? Like so.
Racism. Oh no.
Well, yeah, racism or just white people, right? I mean, it's the Grammys are. I'm sure the Grammy, the Grammy board or whatever, governors or whatever they call themselves,
The
similar
powers
to.
that be that you don't believe.
Wait, no. What do you mean? I don't. I didn't say I didn't. I didn't say I didn't
Didn't
believe
he just say
them.
that though? He just said that earlier
No,
but you
I
got it. Go
said
ahead.
no. No, you have to.
No.
That's weird. That's weird that you're trying to conflate what I said earlier with this thing right here. Like what I said earlier, I never said I didn't believe that there were powers that be.
I
What
think
I said was what
you're
I said.
treating
Yeah,
broken.
you're putting words. You're putting words in my mouth because what you
I think
said.
fucking with you.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Because what I said was I didn't believe the powers that be would want Killer Mike arrested. That's what I said because that's what I said. But
Straighten them out, broken. Straighten them out.
nah, it's not like that. It's not like that. I mean,
Shut
I
up, bro.
feel
Don't
you.
instigate, bro. Come on. What was
Nah,
you saying,
nah,
bro?
nah. It's totally it's funny. It's funny. It's funny as hell. But nah. I mean, okay, like I guess I'll give some of the arguments people were making, right? Like so there's two sides of the argument, right? So there's one side of the argument where it's like white people control the Grammys or whatever, and of course they're gonna pick like their stars. So if you're talking about racism or whatever like that, where black artists have been complaining for years, either being put in the wrong categories,
Mm-hmm.
being placed in pop instead of rap, or being placed in rap instead of pop or whatever,
It's a common Nicki Minaj
and
complaint.
in order to stall them out from being able to win. And then there's the other side of the argument where a lot of black people say, well, these black artists care too much for white validation, right? Like, so they're trying to get validation. Like, they act like they're against the system or whatever, or they so hood, or they so pro black or whatever like that. But then when they win a Grammy, like Killer Mike, right? Like Killer Mike gets on stage, he starts dancing, he does a fucking 360 and shit like that, and he's just like,
This nigga started
you
shouting.
know, yeah, he basically starts shouting. It's like, okay, well, like, which is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think the Grammys are unfair, or I guess if you think something is unfair inherently, and then you finally win it, I guess there is a relief, right? And it's like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
finally got what I've been deserving because I've been cheated out of it for so long. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, so is there a point where either black people stop caring about it like so much, you know what I'm saying, and putting so much validation, and like you need the Grammy board to validate you so bad? Like, okay, yeah, Beyonce got all of these awards, but it seems like it's really still bugging her and her husband, Jay-Z, the fact that she never won Album of the Year. So that's still like that's still a thorn or something there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you a billionaire, you got all this money. Do you care? Do you actually care that much, or are you trying to help future artists? I guess get their accolades or whatever like that. So there's two
You care,
sides.
yeah. He
There's a
brings it
bunch of
up. He
sides.
cares.
There's a bunch of sides to that. Y'all can fill in the rest.
Um, I let me ask this question just really quick. What sounds more prestigious, the Grammys or the Soul Train Awards?
Grammys.
Why? Because fucking Soul Train doesn't
Soul
sound
Train,
like,
yeah. Soul Train Award don't
like you
sound
wanna,
yeah.
like you proud to win one of the motherfuckers. You cool with a Soul Train Award or a motherfucking NAACP award, right? Like you cool with that. Like I'm cool. We did it. But it's a different vibe when it comes to the Grammys. And I'm not caping for the Grammys. I'm just trying. That's how I see. That's how I think these artists are when it comes to the Grammys, as opposed to their own awards and shit, right?
It's like Soul Train and NAACP is like your people.
BET Awards.
It's like your people. Yeah, BET is like it's your people, and the Grammys is like you got that acceptance
It's everybody.
of the whole world
Yeah.
around. You know what I'm saying?
The whole world, but the whole world ain't voting on it. It's
not just niggers though on the Grammy board. That's what it is. Like it's a whole bunch of different people. But that's a detriment too, because you get those inaccuracies like Macklemore winning album best hip hop album over Kendrick's first album.
Yeah.
You know, you get those because people don't know what they fucking voting on, just checking shit. Right. And they get to the spot where they know, and they're a little bit more diligent in what they pick and shit.
Okay, with me being the oldest or whatever, this is not gonna be an insulting question or whatever. This is not meant to insult or whatever. But do you guys remember when rappers cared more about the Source Awards than the Grammys?
Never.
Do y'all? So yeah, that literally was the thing. That happened in the 90s. In the early 90s, the Source magazine was the authority on hip hop. Like you care more about getting 5 mics from the Source than being recognized by people outside of the culture. Like, so the culture, they cared more about being recognized by their peers, and the Source magazine was seen as the highest authority. That's why you want, like, fans were mad as hell that Only Built for Cuban Links got 4.5 mics. They came back like 10 or 20 years later and finally changed that rating to 5 and gave it 5 mics. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to understand, if you were around in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying, through the mid 90s, and the Source magazine was handing out 5 mics, and they handed out the hip hop quotable of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your hip hop quotable, I remember Ghostface Killer had a hip hop quotable of the month, and everybody was like, "Oh man, that was the best rhyme that came out." You know what I'm saying? Like, so like 5 mic albums matter, and then the Source Awards like was a huge thing. Like, so I mean, of course, the world didn't recognize Source Awards, but it didn't matter what the world was recognizing, because hip hop like was it was more it was smaller then, of course, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't as global yet, like, even though they were starting to shoot into superstardom and all that. But rappers cared more about the Source Awards at that time than the Grammys.
That shit won't go now.
The Grammys probably only had fucking one rap category back then. Anyway, if they had any categories, you know what I'm saying? Like they probably only had one.
Probably had best album. That's it. Best R&B album.
Run DMC probably won. I don't know if they actually won a Grammy, or if they did win a Grammy, I wouldn't be surprised if they won for like rock song or some shit like that, because they had a song with Aerosmith. You know what I'm saying?
It might be Grammy nominated as a rock song.
And the name of their album, the name of that album, I'm not sure if that song was on that particular album. It probably was, but the name of the album was King of Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and they mixed the rock with the rap element. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of rock type beats on that album. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, yeah, but you know, the reason why the Grammys is seen, what some people would say, the reason why the Grammys is seen as more important than the Soul Train Awards or the BET Awards or the NAACP is because white ice is always colder.
Oh,
always colder.
All right then. Goddamn, boy. On that point, man. White ice is always colder, man. Look, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in, man. Watching this Monday Man Cave. Chilling right here. MCS Parade with the BGSC Network. My boy Brian. My man Chris, as you can see, he's the host of Chris Hates Everything. Make sure you guys check that out. Awesome little
YouTube,
podcast that he
Instagram.
got. Awesome little podcast. And the things that he talks about is pretty damn interesting, man. I love what he be doing. My man Ryan as well. Look, before you guys get out of here, look, Super Bowl predictions, man. Who's winning? Who you guys picking?
Bullshit Chiefs. It's Brady. It's Brady. Like it's Brady-esque looking right now. Like he might not have 20 years of dominance, but for right now, until Burrow or the other niggas get better, it's gonna be him. You know. So because I don't think Purdy can pull you out if you losing. I don't think he can get you the W, but Patrick can. So it doesn't matter winning or losing. If they winning, they gonna win. If they losing, they just gonna win. To come back and just win. So and they got good
teams. Brian, who you got, man?
Yeah, I had to pick the Chiefs. Got to pick the Chiefs.
God damn it.
Begrudgingly, man. Like begrudgingly.
It is begrudgingly. I mean, I kind of want them to lose, but I kind of want the Niners to do. I don't care, man.
I don't give a fuck about either one of these teams.
We really don't care. That's what I'm saying.
But it's just like you know who gonna win, but you know, like you feel like this 49ers team is special. So you're just like, and it's kind of like their time. They've been good for fucking forever now. So,
can it be scripted if we already think they're gonna win? Like if everybody picking the same team.
And that's scripted. It's just we're going off based off what we've seen. We've seen Mahomes win. We've seen Mahomes win more than once. We haven't seen Purdy and them win just yet. So of course you're gonna go with the more logical bet. Who has been there? Who has the experience? Who's won it? So I feel you, man. I'm kind of having to go with the Chiefs, but goddamn, I really don't care. I really, 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 honestly don't care, man. But it is what it is. Y'all, MCXP Radio, man. I thank you guys for joining, tuning in, logging in, and doing everything like that. As I always leave with you guys, man. If you're suffering from mental health, anything that you got going on, please, please, please go seek some help. If you need it, I always leave the hotline, and I always tell you guys and everybody that always watches my shows, man. It's always good to have some people in your corner. You know, your friends can tell you some things that you might want to hear, but sometimes it's best to get some professional help, and they'll tell you what you need to hear to help you get you on your ways. I'm talking from somebody who's had the experience, so I'm just letting you guys know it's all good. It's all gravy. This is MCXP Radio. For myself and my man Chris, my man Brian, man, I appreciate you guys for joining in, tuning in, logging in, man. They got things to do. I got things to do. Or else we'll be here for another hour, man. Definitely would. But until then, man, I'll see you guys, and you guys take it easy, all right? Peace.
Peace.
Cruising in a Rari with the hair and nails and toes done. Always keep it never gonna give me.
We're gonna make a lot of women mad at this one, but it's alright.
Gonna get a shot at romance. It's kinda too cold.
Yeah.
I might